Live. I'm coming back to you. What
Jesus.
is happening? Episode 66.
Jesus Christ.
Nothing Lose Podcast. I'm Tony.
I'm Joey.
And we miss you all.
Yes, it's been a minute.
Joey needs a break.
I did, yeah. From you. God.
We kind of broke up.
I hate being here.
I force him here every week.
No.
No.
It's just crazy. Doesn't it seem like, just in your opinion, whenever you have free time, you have nothing going on, but then when you don't have any free time, it's like everything has to happen within that week?
Like what?
I don't know, like, let's say that there's like a holiday or like the first week of summer vacation if you're in school, and it's like, you've got shit to do. You've got nothing to do. No one hits you up. No one's, you're just kind of existing for a week. But then let's say, like you're working full time, that specific week you've been asked to work overtime. That week is like your mom's birthday. It's your friend's birthday. You've got this going on, you've got that going on, like all in one week. Does it ever happen to you, or is it just me?
It happens, but
like not consistently.
No, there was times I think like earlier this year where I was just telling Jen like I just need a weekend day that I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or I don't have anything going on.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it was
like,
just like
that's
weird.
like me every week.
But it was like stuff like, oh, I had like commitments, like you already planned it, like you had this going on, and then you had. But it happens to all of us. I don't think you're the only one.
So like life never just like creeps up on you and just completely ambushes you with all these things that you have to do.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah. That just happens to me quite often, and that's why the podcast had to be pushed back a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Just like a little bit. We're still here though, and if Antonio ever talks to any of you and he's like, oh God, I think the podcast is gonna end. It's not true. He's being dramatic. And
I told Jen, I told Eric Myers, I told Hector, I told my mom.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I hung out with Eric over the weekend.
And you're like, oh yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking for a new co-host.
No, I wasn't even looking for a co-host. I was like, I guess it's over. It's like.
I don't know, man. We haven't
had a good run.
We haven't recorded in like a week, and I just feel like it's
the actual conversation went like this. You know what? Things happen in life. We all gotta move on forward and have bigger things in life and have other.
False. That is false. This is not over. He's being a giant baby. It's
not over.
Huh?
He doesn't want to break up yet.
Sometimes people just need like a week to just go home and cook some goddamn shit.
You know when like you texted, you had a relationship and you text that girl and she hasn't hit you back up and you're like, oh, it's over, but she hasn't told you it's over? This is what it felt like.
Oh my
God. Because like I didn't get a text from Joey or anything like that. Didn't pulse check or anything.
Oh, the drama.
We need it, bro.
Yeah.
Like we need the beef. We need the clout.
How is Eric doing anyway?
Eric's good, man. He's took a little step back from my mindset. They both got real jobs, so they're not much entrepreneurial based.
Well,
he said it was the best thing for him to step into a work environment and have that stability.
Yeah, well, see, Myers Mindset is a great podcast, and he had to take a little bit of a break. So why are you being a baby?
I just wanted that consistency.
Tony was a baby.
I wanted that consistency. I wanted that every week. I wanted to be that podcast.
Dude, you know that's not gonna happen. And plus, if we released every week like a sitcom, then people would just kind of take us for granted. We've got to like.
I'm just saying, people. Tuesday. When you hear Tuesday, you either think those are going for.
Why is it gotta be Tuesdays? Because it's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
That's like booming in my head. Jesus.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Anyway, the boys are back after like a 1 week break. I guess I can't even take a week off. Goddamn.
I don't think it was a week. Let me check real quick.
The last time that we released was with Aaron, right?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
How's Aaron doing?
Oh, he's good.
August 20th, buddy.
That was like a week and a half ago. It's the 4th.
Yeah, that's 2 episodes we missed out on already.
No, because we're gonna set this one out like tomorrow. So
who says that? I'm not saying that. Who's saying that?
He is. You are being such a. All right. Okay.
The people want to know.
Yeah, the people. I also want to know. Anyway,
so we tell them.
So I was a part of a conversation at work earlier today. I want to run it by you and get what.
When you're in a conversation, do you take the lead or do you just listen?
Hell no. Yeah, I just listen. I'd like, honestly, if it's not here with you on the podcast, I straight up try not to contribute as much as possible because, number one, people never forget the shit you say.
Right.
And number two, I don't want to look stupid in public. Like, I don't want to be wrong.
I don't know.
You know, so it's just like, okay, like, I'll just not say anything and then I'll Google it later. Or, if I disagree with what they're saying, who wants to be the guy who starts a fight at work over something dumb?
A lot of people do.
Yeah, well, I don't anyway, so that's why I do not contribute. I just kind of like,
listen.
Yep, and then I just go.
But listening, you become everyone else's counselor, or everyone that everyone wants to go to. And
oh
tell
hell
them
no, no. I mean, I'm like a nice guy at work, but I'm not like, hey, are you okay today?
It doesn't even matter if you say you're okay. They just know that you listen, so they'll go tell you.
You're that person.
I don't know. There's like one person that I actually talk to on like a personal level. It's Terrell's girlfriend, Anitra, right? Like she's like the only person where because we work together all day, so it's like
well, you technically kind of babysit her dog like half the day.
Oh my God, Aries, that little sweet. Yeah, I'll just be doing my goddamn job, and then he'll come waddling over on the desk and like worm under all the monitors, find my desk, and then just post up right on my keyboard.
What's happening?
He just deletes my files all the time. I'll be like working on a data sheet for like hours, and then he'll come over and just like either click on like F8 or some bullshit, and then the whole thing just disappears. There's been like I've been able to recover it a couple times, but there's been one time where I have not been able to recover it, and I was like, wow.
Gotta put it on a Google Doc so it saves it.
But then it's like shareable. I don't, you know. I'm a perfectionist. So back to my conversation at work though. Before Aries took over the conversation. What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about money.
You guys were at work.
Yeah, but we were talking about, it was, you know, a conversation about people who bought property in La Jolla like 50 years ago for like $100,000, and then now it's worth like $3 million or so.
Right.
And, you know, one of my coworkers was like, oh yeah, like, you know, that's not, I mean, smart. They just got really lucky. Like, it was a nice area, but it wasn't anything 50 years ago. You know, you could buy it up if you wanted to.
Right.
And whatever. So I was like, damn, that's great. And then the conversation went to how the number one deciding factor of somebody's wealth throughout their adult life is based on their own parents' wealth. What do you think?
Yes and no, because there's people that have grown up with parents that have nothing and have something, but then there's also people that grew up with parents that had nothing, and then once they get something, they blow it all, or vice versa. Parents had something and they don't have anything. So, but for the most part, I think you are equivalent to your parents in a way.
The majority of instances, though, like of people just being wealthy, came from wealth.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I think that was just you know what we decided, but we were also talking about something along those lines in regards to how that's how the system's designed. To keep people who are wealthy, and then to keep people who are not wealthy.
Right. It's like a club they don't let you in.
Yeah.
Try to get in, bounce your tail, you're not on the list.
Yeah, but I was also thinking, I was like, you know, the number one deciding factor being your own parents' wealth. That just it sounds crazy to me, because me right now, I don't ever consider my parents' money my money.
Right.
But honestly, the majority of Americans who are wealthy, that's kind of how they got their wealth. You know, like either having money growing up and being able to save while they were working themselves, or living from home. You know, like.
Or just handed an opportunity once they were out of college, like here's the key.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, one other thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that one of my other coworkers is a full-grown man, loan officer, makes money, but still lives at home because his parents are wealthy. So he's just making cash, not spending it on rent, not spending it on, you know, utilities, AC, nothing. He's just living living good, and then making like loan officer money, which is like good money.
Right.
And I guess, which was surprising to me, and this is like a full-grown man, this is an adult male, surprising to me, but other people were saying, oh yeah, that's common for people who have wealth. Have you ever heard of that?
Is it?
I don't think it's common for people that have wealth to stay with their parents, because either their parents kick them out, or they're just like, I'm done with my parents, I have my own money, I can bounce out. I think it's more common for people that don't have money or are trying to get money to move back in with their parents, to save up and get that opportunity to actually not be as in the financial struggle or in that financial field as their parents. But that's smart of him, I guess, if he's comfortable living
No, I
at
mean,
home
yeah,
with his parents.
that's
you know.
completely smart.
It's
Yeah,
a big enough house probably that he has his own section.
yeah,
So,
that's actually true.
but I don't think that's true though. I think a lot of rich kids, once they're old enough
Yeah.
to move out.
So, this is what I was also thinking in the midst of this conversation. Okay. The problem with people who don't have wealth, to me, seems like they're not willing to sacrifice their own generation
Yeah.
in order for the future generations of their family to be wealthy and successful. Like, hear me out.
No.
So think about this guy. Like, let's call him, I don't know, John.
Okay.
That's not his name. John comes from money.
Right.
He makes lots of good money, but he lives at home and he
Yeah.
gets to save his money.
Yeah.
Okay. So as of right now, John is kind of a burden on his parents.
Maybe not. We don't know, but okay.
I know, but like, just think about it. Like, think about it. If you moved back in with your parents right now, would you or would you not be a burden?
I don't think I would.
Well, okay, hold on. Put this in perspective. You move back in with your parents. You don't pay rent. You don't pay utilities. You don't pay gas and electric. You don't pay water.
But that's not my style.
I
would contribute
know.
to
But
that.
think if you're John.
Yeah. If I wouldn't. They wouldn't say I was a burden.
The answer is yes. The answer is
yes,
yes.
he would be
Jesus
a burden.
Christ. The answer is yes.
Uh,
He's a burden on his parents. So his parents are currently taking his weight of existing.
Right.
Okay. Now, the problem with like my family or, you know, whoever's family might not have any money would be like in the moment, the generation of people who have the ability to house somebody younger so that they can accrue cash and then be successful on their own,
Right.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was like, yo, mom, dad, I want to move back in, but I don't want to pay any rent, I don't want to pay groceries, I don't want to pay utilities, I want to live here for free to save my money so that I can have money to be wealthy and successful later on. They would tell me to kick rocks.
Of course, Joe. Come on in.
No, they would tell me to kick rocks.
I know. Well, a lot of parents, but I don't think there's very many parents out there that be like, yeah, sure, come on, John, you're making yada a year, but I'll let you come live for
Like-
free.
Like 6 figures.
Yeah, you gotta put in your fucking a little.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, is it wrong for the parents to be selfish and be like, shit, like I don't want to sacrifice the rest of my life to support you while you make the future generations better? Because that's like the way to start the wealth, is for somebody to just dig in and accrue the wealth, like John is doing, right? And then he can have his kids be rich, and then his kids' kids be rich, and it's all because he was able to save triple digits in the hundreds of thousands a year, right?
Yeah.
But like parents that are like our parents aren't willing to dig in and sacrifice the rest of their lives so we can do that.
Yeah.
So is it wrong of them to be selfish, or is it wrong of us to be selfish and want to better the future generations?
I think neither, because if your parents willing to sacrifice, then hey, go for it. But I think you should still put your 2 cents into it. And if you want to sacrifice for your future, then go for it. But everyone has a different scenario and a different position in it, you know. Because like John's parents could have told him up front, like, you can stay here as long as you want and not cover anything. So he's gonna jump on it. Or vice versa, if someone like John goes to his parents and say, hey, is it okay if I crash here for free while I try to save up this money? At that point, his parents are like, we're taking the burden on, like, we didn't open that to you, so we don't know what conversation went down or how his parents said, like, it's okay for you to
Yeah.
stay here, so I'm under this category.
I just really feel.
But even if you're staying somewhere, you still gotta push some way. I feel like you gotta contribute somehow. If it's just groceries or some kind of picking up something.
As much as I hate to say it, that sort of model would kind of work.
What?
Like, my family doesn't have money,
Yeah.
but if I had kids, because I know that I'm not going to be rich when I grow up. I might be comfortable, but I know I'm not going to be rich, you know? But in order for the future little Joey Belucos out there to be rich,
God bless the internet.
you know, in order for them to have like a good chance of being rich and comfortable their whole life without ever having to like feel poor at all, is for me to dig in, sacrifice my life, like the rest of my working life, to sort of plant the seed for future Belucos to be rich.
Well, yeah.
Like it just takes one generation of people to just completely work like a dog to the grave to set other people up.
Yes and no.
I think yes, man. We're just not willing to do it.
What if you're working for the future generations, but then you get hit with a life, like say for instance, you have to cover somebody else's medical bill or something comes up. So everything you save for the future, now you have to dig into that.
I don't know. I see, like, this is all situational. Like, shit like that, I'd have to assess the situation and be like, is it worth saving grandma in our, I don't know.
Yeah, but if something comes up, like, you know, you worked, because we all seen it too in stories where somebody's like saved for 10 years and then all of a sudden something happens in the family that they gotta just put all that towards there, you know? But in the end, their picture was, I'm saving for my future kid, but fucking life happened and it had to go this way, you know? So I don't think it takes one generation. It takes a lot of generations game planning, like, hey, we're always gonna move forward so that the next generation goes better than us. Because, for instance, my parents came here for me and my sister to have a better life, you know? Now, me and my sister are working for our kids to have a better life than we did, right?
Yeah.
We got what my parents couldn't have, so now we want to have, for instance, I want my kids to have what I didn't have, so we just keep moving forward that way.
So that's like the traditional model of like, you know, the accruement of wealth in America.
Yeah.
It's just like you work 50 hours a week,
right,
and you and your spouse contribute this amount and this amount and this amount, and you keep moving, and then the next generation, they're gonna have a little bit better head start, you know, like a little bit, but you know, they're gonna be a little bit better.
It's a marathon, not a race.
I know, I get that, but what if that's the system? What if that's how American elite wealthy plans to control the wealth? Is just like giving you a little bit of kibble as you just, you know, drudge on. Like a little bit, okay, yeah.
I think that's why I think a lot of people have caught on to that, and you see a lot of more minimalist movement and a lot of more small home living, or just people just living off of a little tiny box.
Yeah.
Because they say, I don't need this big 1,500 square foot house, I can just live off of 400 square feet and save a killer more money and have more for the future and for other stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think we're cutting into it now more days and opening our eyes to other aspects instead of saying like, okay, so the book, or not the book, but like the motto is for us to get a house, you know, raise our family there, and get old that way. But now people are looking at it, our generation is like, hey, maybe I should just downsize everything, 400 square foot house, whatever, save up so much more money, so when Timmy comes or Suzanne comes, comes along.
Timmy? Who the fuck?
Hey,
Timmy? That's the best name.
That's all I have right there.
Oh my god.
Timmy, come here.
Come on, Timmy. So when Timmy and Suzanne come along, we have enough to give them, and they have their seeds to blossom more than we did. So I think we're going in a generation, in a cycle where we're opening our eyes to other aspects, ways, / just to make that bigger jump instead of that smaller jump like you're saying. So there's a lot of more progress going on than we see. But I think there's going to be generations now that are going to push it forward. Because there's also like, say for instance, there's those fucking shows or those mentors that tell you how to get rid of your debt. Like 50,000, get rid of it in 3 years type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when they thought about debt that high, they thought it was going to take 10 years, 10 plus, So there's people out there showing you the way, get rid of it in 3 years or less.
Yeah.
How to cut it down, how to live in a budget lifestyle. So I think we're all seeing that we have to live it within a budget and not live like the Jonas and try to keep up with the Jonas or have FOMO and stuff like that. So we're moving in that time, in that pace that we're gonna have enough to give our future and have an actual, say, balloon wealth or something to give to them instead of just like, well, go ahead, good luck,
Well, what do you think is more important?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to live comfortably, or do you want to live minimalist and have your children live comfortably?
At this point,
Yeah.
I just want to live comfortably.
Oh, okay. Screw the kids. Maybe that'll change when you actually
Maybe that
have
will
kids.
change, but right now the mindset is getting rid of my debt and making sure we're happy. That's just me and Jen,
Get rid of our debt.
So
What we care about right now.
So it's just, that's the mindset right now. If me and Jen didn't have a debt, we would probably be like, okay, so what do we cut? Or how do we live so minimalist that we can save 10 grand a year or stuff like that. Like that type of size. But right now it's just the debt is the first priority, and then after that you move forward, because you can't fucking save if you still owe. You can, but
you can't save if you still owe. That's right. That's right, kids.
and that's what sucks, and that's why people like John and people like that have to go back home and live in that environment. He never left, or if people do come back. Because there's people that we know, friends that have left, have come back.
I did that.
We gotta save up or re-up. Get my numbers right, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we have to be okay to adjusting. Like everyone's out there, we see it online, and everybody thinks they're living their best life, and we get caught up with someone saying, "Hey, I'm making this much figures," and you're just like, "Fuck, John's killing it. I'm over here just coasting by." And so there's nothing. Re-up, get your batteries up, take 2 weeks off of podcasting, come back together.
But again, it's all situational too.
Yeah, it is.
So.
It really is all situational.
It's all your situation. It's all we're all going through different things, but there's a lot more out there now that's open to us for knowledge.
Yeah,
following the same path.
I wasn't thinking about like how to get rich quick and shit like that, but I was thinking about like, well,
am I doing it right? Am I saving right? Am I planning for the future right?
Yeah, exactly. Because like the goal is to leave your kids in a situation better than you had. Like I would love for my kids to just straight up go to college right after high school, not have to worry about it. Like just do good in high school so that they can choose whatever college they want to go to, no matter the price. Like that would be cool.
You got Aunt Becky money?
And Becky money, I'm gonna call that rowing coach and say,
All-star, All-State, or you.
Is she still in jail, or did she even ever go to jail?
I don't think she went to jail.
Can't believe that.
One of my cousins got accepted into USC's master's program.
Oh yeah.
Took a picture outside USC. Thanks Aunt Becky.
God.
Weird flex.
Nice. No, that is a good flex. That's funny. That's funny as hell.
But yeah, I don't just. Like, you gotta educate yourself out there.
I guess so.
Everybody's in a different scenario, and we can't just look at John's scenario and be like, well, is he doing the right thing? Is his parent doing the right thing? Because that might work for them, it doesn't work for us.
I honestly don't care about like how much money my neighbor has, or anything like that. I don't care. I just care about,
My lights are on. I got food. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, that, but it would be nice to, because I was like thinking earlier, and I was like, how do I define living comfortably, living kind of like wealthy? Like, what is the threshold for me? You know what it was?
What?
Being able to just eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Like, like be like, oh damn, I could really go for, I don't know, Taco Bell, right? And not have to think like, all right, well, I could either buy Taco Bell today, or I could save up and, maybe have some weekend money or some shit like that. It would be cool to do both.
Yeah.
It would be cool to just like, like I'm hungry, let's go eat. Because another part of my job, and all these people who make a lot more money than me,
Social events.
they eat lunch like
Wow.
eat out lunch like every day. Every day there's always a conversation like, all right, like where are we gonna go for lunch? While I'm over here with like my homemade pasta, you know, and my Tupperwares and all this shit, and I'm just like, oh man, I could really go for a sandwich from that place too. I could really go for Rubio's too, you know. But at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, but I can't spend that money right now. And it would be nice to not worry about, you know, spending $10 on
Right.
lunch whenever I wanted to. You know, it sucks. It's like, shit, dude, I could really go for a shrimp burrito.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to have a damn Big Mac, you know, but
Well,
so.
the crazy thing is that there are people out there who actually budget for that type of thing. Like, oh, I'm allotting this amount so I can eat out for the whole week.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who
Okay.
make that a part of their budget.
Right.
So,
But
so
those
like
listeners,
us, you
Jen's
know.
saying that she's budgeting to go out all the time.
For all the listeners, Jen's saying that she's spending all of Tony's money on lunch every day.
No. But we're like you,
White Claw.
Joey. We bring our Tupperwares and whatnot,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I mean, and then like,
White Claw.
yeah, and
a White Claw.
White Claw. Just put a little koozie on it and tell people it's a Celsius.
Yeah.
Just,
No, or tell them it's the Alkalis or the other one.
oh,
It's an energy drink.
energy drink, look it up. No, I mean, yeah, even like driving over here, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna be done with the podcast like around 8 or so I can either like, you know, make chicken when I get home, or I can stop by KFC on the way home.
Oh well,
Like,
we
I
have
can just
dinner
do
for
that.
you. So.
You know, so I mean, I was
It's
just
not
like, I was like, well, do I want to spend the KFC money, or do I just want to, you know, not? And I was like, damn, I wish I could not have those thoughts. You know, I just wish I could. What about you? What's your threshold of like
What?
living good?
Living good?
Yeah.
Threshold of living good. I guess it's like when I'm able to help somebody, like, or somebody comes up with something and I'm able to like provide that fund or something. Like if there's a bill that needs to be paid, and then, well, I still take care of my parents, like financial, like I'll pay the bills like for them. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm linked to their accounts, but like sometimes some bill comes up that they had no idea about, and then that's when I feel comfortable. I'm like, oh, hey, I don't sweat it. I gotta pay me back whenever you get a chance, type of thing. That's when I would feel like, hey, I'm comfortable enough like that.
Yeah.
And that's always been my goal. Like, I just want to be able to just, one, pay it forward, and actually be like, here's your mortgage payment, which is like, that's the sky's the limit. That's just me reaching for the stars right there. But that would be nice for me to be able to cover a mortgage payment. Be like, peace.
Just one?
Well, if you cover one, then you'll be able to cover the rest. So
Yeah.
I'm starting with one. But yeah, that would be me. Like, okay.
I'm over here worried about if I can get Taco Bell or not, and I want to pay my parents' mortgage. Wow, that just shows what kind of a piece of shit I am. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Check on first. Oh, no, then you would follow it.
Yeah, and then I would have said like, I would love to be able to donate $20,000 to the children.
Or do you like to get back to this cause that helped me when I was young,
Nah.
growing up in the hood of East County?
I don't know, and then like, doesn't it always feel like also like if you get a new job and like that job pays more,
Mhm.
or if you're like, all right, dope, like I got some big expenses coming up in October, so September I'm gonna save.
Yeah.
More expenses happen in September than what you anticipated, and you're just
Yeah.
like, I can't stop spending money.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not my fault, you know, like things keep coming up. Doesn't that ever happen to you, or is it just me?
No, it happens
It's
because
crazy.
everything, like you look at your calendar and you're like, okay, so we paid here, that covers this, and you're budgeting kind of in your head.
Yeah.
But then you get hit with either a birthday or vacation or something that pops in
Or
there.
like a parking ticket,
Or-
or
yeah, like
you know,
that.
like a late fee for
Or the
rent,
IRS.
or the IRS, yeah, you know, like it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's like the ending of August, and you're just like, yeah, for sure.
Caught up.
Exactly, I'm caught up, and like next month I'm gonna pay my bills when they're due, and like
Yeah.
all the rest I'm not gonna touch it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have it for October, because October's gonna be crazy, I'm moving, you know, all this stuff, and then like, boom, you know, September happens, and you pay your bills, and then it's like, oh, but also, you got this, and then, oh, did you know that it's this, and this month, and you're just like, oh my god, like, I'm never gonna get ahead.
Mhm.
It's crazy. It's, I mean, asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Link in the bio. Swipe up to the GoFundMe account.
Well, it's just been my sort of like observations of like the universe and karma like lately. It's just like, oh man, and then when you have a bunch of money, nothing happens.
We had this conversation today with one of my coworkers. I did bring him, and there's been a lot of reviews happening, like, but not in our department. And so, like, we know this guy, he got a review today, like, this week, and then we're like, he's salary, so I'm like, what do you think he's making? And he's like, oh, he's probably making a couple more. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you think he's gonna actually be able to pay his bills now? Because there was, like, kind of like, we could hear a conversation, like, trying to, like, work out his bills on the phone at work. He's like, no, because people that usually have that problem when they don't have money, and then when they get money, they'll still have
that
problems.
problem.
So, more money, more problems.
No, I mean completely. If you don't learn how to live within your means when you don't have anything.
So I see it a blessing as a disguise, because I'm able to manage with this little of fun right now. Then just imagine when I actually level up, I'll be straight. I won't be like, oh fuck, I got more expenses and I'm spending more than I'm making.
Yeah. I mean, like that's like the plan, you know, and I definitely know how to make $40 last for groceries for a week. You know, I definitely know how to do all that stuff. And
with somebody that's making more than you, if you give them $40, they'll be like, I'm just gonna buy. That's just one aisle for them.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I
I
guess
see it as a blessing because it just makes us manage our money better.
Learning as we go. Yeah. It's just crazy to me, like, you know, like everything happens when you don't want it to happen, and then when you're waiting for something to happen, nothing happens. I don't know. That's been coming up for me a lot lately. I don't know, just sort of whatever. But did you want to talk about anything today?
Everything's gonna be all right.
True.
It's ready for election.
Oh God, yeah.
We won't get that far, but there's still 20 people running, buddy. Like,
yeah,
why?
I mean, after the primaries.
Why
you know,
is there 20 people still running?
Because the okay, honestly.
They're not even invited to the debate.
Dude, I don't even know. I don't know, man. You know.
We got a hurricane.
Yep.
We got thunderstorms out here.
Hurricane that's not doing anything. It's hot and raining.
Our president's out playing golf while the hurricane's happening. What else we got going on? Apple's about to come over and kill the game with their new iPhone. Everyone's gonna want it, have FOMO.
Not me, man.
Nintendo trying to come back old school.
I actually just paid off my device. It took me 2 years.
Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? Buddy? This is the first time I paid off a phone. I've always been on the lease. Like I'm just gonna lease it out.
No, yeah, like
turn it in when I'm done. Type of thing.
My cell phone bill dropped like $40. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with those $40. Maybe get some more groceries. But I'm happy. Like I paid off my device. Like I'm straight. I looked at my bill. It's like went down to $90. You know, I'm like tight.
The best feeling I think is when your insurance payment drops on your car.
Oh my God, I know. For after the year premium, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool. No accidents for a year. We're gonna take $10 off, and you're just like, hell yes.
I'll take that 120.
I'll take that 120. Now you know what's crazy? I have AAA insurance. And like the first payment that you make is towards like the membership and stuff like that. Yeah, you actually get that money back after a year.
Oh,
from
nice.
them or from their?
From them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they told me they're like, yeah, we're gonna take 160, but it's like you'll get it back after a year. And I was like,
you just thought like you're never gonna see it back.
Yeah, so now I'm like, when is my year up? Anyway, where you at?
I got the 160 back.
I get paid.
They arrested the person that sold the drugs to Mac Miller today.
Oh, so what does that have to do with anything?
His birthday's coming up too, so.
No, I mean like.
Or his year of when he dies.
His death anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't understand that. Yeah, he sold the drugs to him, but did he force him to OD?
No, but I don't think you're supposed to sell the kind of drugs, buddy.
Well, I mean, obviously, but.
Oxycontin pill.
But I mean, like, is he gonna be tried as a murderer or just a drug dealer?
Man arrested for allegedly involvement in Mac Miller's overdose death.
Involvement in the death? Yeah, he sold him some pills.
Yeah. Alleging he supplied the rapper with the pills containing.
Okay, honestly, what's crazy about that is like his death was an accidental suicide. He OD'd on drugs.
They always gotta point the finger at somebody.
They always have to find a bad guy.
So
they always have to find somebody.
And they'll be like, oh, you shouldn't be.
Yeah. You're a murderer, you killed Mac Miller. No, like I sold him some pills because I needed some income. He's the one who chose to take 13 of them. Like, whatever. I mean, rest in peace to him. He made some great music, whatever. But I'm sorry, dude. That's like his death is his own fault.
13 Reasons. Have you watched it?
The third season? I didn't even watch the second season.
Oh my goodness.
What, is it good?
So good.
Is it good?
It's good in a way, but it just sucks that they're gonna come back with another season. I was ready for it to be like, we're done.
Shouldn't those kids be in like college by now? What the hell are they still doing?
Making bank.
And is the show still about the chick who killed herself, or is it about something else completely?
Completely something now.
Oh, well then what the hell do I care?
Past her death.
It's past her death, but it definitely
Life
it's a
goes on,
lot
'cause
of
it just,
the universe has its way of working around.
when you lie about something, it comes back.
Yeah,
on
it
you.
just comes back.
Oh, this just sounds like one of those like TV shows when I was in middle school that I never like Gossip Grill or
Gossip Girl.
Gossip
wow.
Girl, whatever the hell.
Gossip Girl, thanks for
Veronica Mars, like all those like CW shows that I just don't give a shit about. That's what oh my god, like who's the liar? who's A? Who's, I don't know, let's take 9 years to figure it out. No, you like, oh Jesus Christ. Okay,
God.
I don't know.
Did you watch your boy Travis Scott?
No, the documentary, nope, I did not.
That's pretty good.
Well, number one, he's not my boy. I'm not really a big fan of his music.
That's why I chuckled at first.
But
it's lit.
I actually talked to Roy about the documentary, and he was like, yeah, his fans are crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can see that because Travis Scott jumps off of like third-story windows and his fans catch him.
So he gets arrested at shows because his fans like get hurt.
Yeah, because
they arrest Travis Scott.
he's jumping from 3 stories up, and people are.
He's not doing it no more.
Yeah.
He's kind of like he's having other people do it.
Yeah, but there was that one I saw in the like on the preview in like 2014. He like was performing for 20 people. I think that he dropped his first album like 2015.
Year
So-
after that.
His blow up was really quick.
No,
It's his fans.
it was slow. He was doing it since the get go, like little. So I think his blow up happened when the whole Texas was going down and they needed somebody else. Like the Paul Wall, the Mike Jones was over.
Oh, the Houston sound.
Like Houston sound was over. Like he came with a different Houston sound. Like,
Anything that
whoa,
was chopped.
boom. Like now you have Astro.
Anything that was chopped and screwed.
World.
Chopped and screwed.
So they wanted to
Paul
get
Wall,
Mike Jones up on the list. 'cause Mike
Boss
Jones was off
Hog,
the-
Mike Jones,
Slim Thug.
Slim Thug,
Bun B.
Bun B.
Bun B was original. Bun B like pulled it down.
Pretty much anybody who was featured on Still Tipping on Fofos.
Tipping on Fofos, wrapped in Fofos. When you listen to music now, do you think you'll go back and actually have that same vibe that you have when you listen to
Okay, you know what?
early 2000s?
I was actually gonna bring that up too because lately I've been listening to like a lot of older music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I listened to Bryson Tiller today, his first album.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Stay blessed.
still great.
Uh-huh.
I loved it. Still great. Still great.
It hits.
It hits. But but if I listen to like Young Thug's new album that just dropped,
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
Yeah, it's I can look forward to listening to new music on Friday, and then after like 1 or 2 plays, I'm just like, I'm over it, and I don't think I'll go back to it, or I just listen to one song.
Kind of like the Dreamville album.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible. It didn't live up to the expectations. When you have that much talent in a place, and you can't come up with at least one banger that has a summer anthem.
The first one.
Yeah. If someone's still singing about "Can't Tell Me Nothing" and it's still a summer anthem, and you can't come and take that spot.
Dude, man, which sucks because everybody was waiting for a J. Cole album to drop this year anyway, and like that was it. That was it. Come on, now I gotta wait a whole year.
Dude, it sucks when I'm going on a run. Like I was like telling Jenna, I don't know what to like. I can have a slapper and then a slow song and then a slapper and a slow song. I need something that just. So I'd rather go to something old or somebody that just talks it. Like NF right now is just hitting it. Like he just goes straight hard on his verses and what his message is.
Yeah, and right now for me, still Kendrick. So like when I'm at the gym, if I have headphones, which I don't, it's still Kendrick. Or like when I'm driving to the gym, Kendrick. That's what really gets me because, like you said, it's consistent. It's great.
And that's what I don't think we have right now. We have songs that come out and you're like, oh, that's great, can't wait to hear it in the club or here. Bounce that one song, but then what's after that? What do you play after that?
What's also crazy? Listening to songs in the club and then listening to them outside of the club and being like, wow, this song really sucks.
Uh-huh.
But while you're at like F6 or wherever you're at, it's like a banger, and like you and all your boys are like, oh, this is great.
I told Jen the other day, what's your song? Lizzo, it's Lizzo. What's that
Lizzo?
song? Yeah. What is it? What's that song?
Truth Hurts?
Truth Hurts. I want to hear it in a gay bar.
Why? I haven't heard it, so tell me why.
What?
You have not heard. You heard it, but you don't know who it is. You've heard it.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna have to listen to it, and then next week we can discuss whether or not it should be at a gay bar, Antonio.
I'm just.
It's a movement.
It's a movement. It slaps in any
Yeah, it doesn't matter
place, but I feel like there it would be like, you get a different attitude, or a different like.
Well, whenever you're down to go to a gay bar, let me know.
Always.
You know where I'll be.
This one you haven't heard it?
Oh, I have heard that
Okay.
song.
So.
Yeah, I was actually out in Hillcrest like last weekend with Nancy, actually,
Mhm.
from the podcast, like episode 3 or whatever.
Yeah, freaking
So
dope.
it was like last minute.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I have heard that song.
Okay, so just think about that, and that's it.
Yeah, no, you're right. It definitely bangs at the gay clubs. Yeah.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
It's a vibe.
It's a movement. Isn't her deal? She's like sort of like a bigger girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just doing it.
She's doing it well.
It's a good movement.
Yeah.
Remember that?
What?
No, we won't get into that. I'm good.
We good?
I'll fair all that. Anyways, it's been real.
Yeah.
See you guys in a month.
This was nice catch up. Honestly, see you guys in a month. Anyway, if you guys let me know about your thoughts about the parenting thing that we're talking about. I'm kind of really curious about if anybody else is living like that or not.
Or if you're parenting out there, how would you like to be parent?
Yeah.
How would you have? I don't know. Your take.
Your take.
We're not parents.
Jesus Christ. Antonio's falling asleep on me, so I'm just gonna say good night. God bless.
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.
Everything's gonna be alright.
As long as God got us, we gonna be alright.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey. I was gonna say the movement of
That was a really good flow of conversation.
Yeah.